Hello everyone, it's Dan here, and today we are diving into something absolutely massive in the world of gaming, the next chapter of Poppy Playtime. For anyone who has somehow missed it, the Poppy Playtime series is this incredible horror adventure that drops us right into the creepy, abandoned Playtime Company toy factory. It's a place that was once filled with joy and laughter, but is now home to terrifying toys that have come to life, and they are definitely not friendly. What makes these games so brilliant is the mix of puzzle solving with your handy grab pack tool and the heart-pounding moments when a giant scary mascot is chasing you down a dark hallway. It's an experience that sticks with you, and it has us all hooked. The atmosphere in these games is just top-notch. You really feel like you're exploring a forgotten place, uncovering secrets that were never meant to be found. The story is told through old VHS tapes, scattered notes, and the environment itself, which makes every discovery feel super rewarding. You're not just playing a game, you're becoming a detective, piecing together the dark history of what went wrong at Playtime Company. It's this deep lore and the feeling of constant danger that keeps millions of us coming back for more. Every chapter has been a wild ride, introducing new areas of the factory and even scarier toys to run from. What really gets the adrenaline pumping are the chase sequences. Who can forget the first time they were chased by Huggy Wuggy? It was pure terror. The game does an amazing job of building up tension, using sound and silence to make you feel completely on edge before the big monster reveal. Then it's a mad dash for survival, using your wits and the grab pack to escape. It's this perfect blend of spooky exploration and high-stakes action that has made the series a massive hit. The jump scares aren't just cheap tricks. They are earned moments of panic after minutes of careful, quiet exploration, which makes them so much more effective. With Chapter 4, Safe Haven, recently released on consoles and revealing some huge secrets, the hype for the grand finale has never been higher. We learned so much that completely changed how we see the story, especially about Poppy and the prototype. The ending left us with our jaws on the floor, setting the stage for what promises to be the most intense and revealing chapter yet. The entire community is buzzing with theories and predictions, trying to figure out what will happen next. We are all waiting to see how this incredible, terrifying story will finally conclude, and it's going to be an epic conclusion. So, where are we headed in Chapter 5? All signs point to one of the most mysterious and feared locations in the entire factory, the labs. This is the place that has been hinted at for so long, the dark heart of Playtime Company where the twisted experiments on orphans took place. It's where the prototype, the main villain of the entire series, has been pulling all the strings from. At the end of Chapter 4, we saw the entrance to this area, and it looked incredibly ominous. This final chapter will take us deep into the scientific and horrifying core of the factory, and I'm expecting it to be the scariest environment we have ever seen in the game. On top of the labs, there are some really exciting rumors flying around about new types of environments. One of the biggest theories is that we will get to explore an underwater section. A new villain name was apparently leaked, Chum Chompkins, which sounds very fishy, doesn't it? This could mean we'll need to navigate flooded tunnels or giant aquarium-like enclosures, which would be a completely new challenge. Imagine trying to solve puzzles with the grab pack while a massive aquatic toy is swimming around you in the dark. It would add a whole new layer of fear, as being underwater means you're slower and more vulnerable. It's a brilliant idea. Another interesting bit of speculation is about a place called Poppy Play Park. Now this one is a bit more of a mystery, but it sounds like it could be an abandoned amusement park area connected to the factory. Think about it, a creepy, broken-down theme park with haunted rides and mascot characters. It would fit the Playtime Company theme perfectly. Maybe this is a different part of the lab's complex, or a final area we have to escape through. The name itself just sparks the imagination, and exploring a haunted park created by this twisted company sounds both amazing and absolutely terrifying. It would be a fantastic setting for the final showdown. All these potential locations mean that Chapter 5 is shaping up to be the most diverse and ambitious one yet. We could be going from sterile, frightening laboratories to dark, murky underwater tunnels, and then into a decaying amusement park. The developers at Mob Entertainment have always been amazing at creating unique and memorable settings, from the Playcare orphanage to the toy store. Taking us through these final, unexplored parts of the factory will be the ultimate test of our courage. I can't wait to see what puzzles and dangers are waiting for us in these brand new, terrifying places. It's going to be an unforgettable final journey. Of course, a new chapter means we'll be meeting new friends and facing new enemies alongside some familiar faces. The biggest villain of them all, the prototype, is set to finally take center stage. We've only seen his creepy metallic arms so far, but we know he is the mastermind behind everything. He's this shadowy figure who has been conducting experiments and is seen as a god by the other toys. The biggest theory is that he is actually the factory's founder, Elliot Ludwig, in some new, monstrous form. Chapter 5 will be our chance to finally confront him and uncover the truth about his motives and his ultimate plan. But the prototype isn't the only threat we should worry about. Get ready for this, because it looks like Huggy Wuggy is coming back. After his big fall in Chapter 1, many of us thought he was gone for good, but the story suggests he survived and is now more feral and broken than ever. He is completely devoted to the prototype, which could make him an even more relentless and unpredictable enemy in the final chapter. A final chase sequence against a damaged, vengeful Huggy Wuggy in the terrifying setting of the labs would be an incredible and nostalgic throwback to the first game, bringing the whole story full circle. On the friendlier side of things, we have Poppy and Kissy Missy. Poppy, who we now know is Elliot Ludwig's daughter, has been our guide, but her true intentions are still a bit of a mystery. She wants to destroy the factory and the prototype, but her methods might make her an antagonist in her own right. Is she truly on our side, or is she just using us? And then there's Kissy Missy, who helped us in Chapter 3 but was left in a really bad state at the end of Chapter 4. We are all desperately hoping she survived and will come back to help us one last time in the final fight. And what about brand new characters? The leak of Chum Chompkins strongly suggests a new aquatic-themed monster, which would be awesome to see. But there are other names that have been trademarked too, like Giblet and Globy, which could be other experiments we find in the labs. The developers always surprise us with creative and scary new toy designs, so I fully expect to meet a whole new cast of horrifying mascots in Chapter 5. Discovering these new creatures and figuring out how to survive their attacks is one of the most exciting parts of any new Poppy Playtime chapter. As we head into this final chapter, there are so many huge questions that we are all desperate to have answered. The biggest one of all is about our own character. Who are we? Why did we, a former employee, come back to the factory? The game has been dropping little hints, but our true identity remains the central mystery of the series. There are theories that we might be a former scientist, another toy, or someone with a personal connection to the events that unfolded. A huge twist revealing who we really are is almost guaranteed for the final act, and it could change everything. Another major question revolves around Poppy's ultimate plan. She seems to be an ally, guiding us on a mission to stop the prototype. However, her actions have been a bit morally gray, and she seems to have her own agenda. Is her goal to simply destroy the evil in the factory, or is there something more to it? Will we have to make a choice between helping her and finding another way to escape? Her role in the finale could see her become a hero, a villain, or something in between, and figuring out her true purpose will be a key part of the story's conclusion. The fate of all the other characters also hangs in the balance. We need to know if Kissy Missy survived her encounter at the end of Chapter 4. What about all the other toys, like Mommy Longlegs and the Smiling Critters? Are they all under the prototype's control, or could some of them be freed? The final chapter has the chance to wrap up all these different storylines and give us closure on the characters we've met along the way. Seeing how all these different pieces of the puzzle fit together in the end is what makes the build-up so exciting for the entire community. Ultimately, the excitement for Poppy Playtime, Chapter 5 comes from the promise of a satisfying conclusion to one of the best horror series out there. We have followed this story, solved the puzzles, and run from the monsters, and now we are on the verge of getting all the answers. The combination of deep lore, terrifying gameplay, and memorable characters has created a truly special experience. We are all eagerly waiting to step back into the Playtime Company factory one last time, ready to face the prototype, uncover the final secrets, and finally bring this incredible, spooky adventure to a close. It's going to be legendary.